Hello everyone.
Hey everyone.
As you can see, I've got Ollie back this week. And the topic for the week was going to be mainly discussing the weight loss challenge that we have going on at work. We're about a month into it, so we were going to get some thoughts from Ollie around how things are going for him. Now, you may or may not be doing a similar weight loss challenge yourself. If you're not, it's no reason to turn away and to stop listening, because there might be parts of this, as Ollie reflects on his last month, that you may relate to with whatever goal you have. So having said that, Ollie, how has the last month gone for you?
Yeah, it's going okay. I've haven't paid a fine yet, so that's positive. It's gone down a little bit, steady by steady. I haven't done too much different. I'd say I've only made little changes. I think the biggest changes I've made, drinking more water at work, and I guess another thing is I've tried to cut back on what I eat. Example is sometimes I felt like I want to go to McDonald's, Wendy's, something like that. But I've said no, I'll go home and have something there. Even if you have some kind of junk food at home that you make yourself, it's going to be healthier than McDonald's. Kind of save a few calories that way. That's all I've done so far. But yeah, I've dropped a little bit of weight. I think probably only 400 grams over the time, but that's a positive for me. So yeah. How have you found it so far?
Probably quite similar to yourself. No really big changes, except so like yourself, I haven't paid a fine yet, although I suspect that's going to change soon. The main change for me has been mainly around weekends. So my eating is quite structured during the week, but on weekends, sort of tend to just eat whatever and, just take it easy.
Yep.
Because that weigh-in is on a Monday morning, I've kind of had to be a bit more careful on weekends.
Okay.
Weights kind of, from where we started, I've lost about sort of 4 kgs.
Wow.
But like I was saying to Adam earlier, I think that's because my starting point was, because of that Christmas period, my starting point was higher than what it normally is. So I'm normally around 77 kgs and I started around 78.5. So, that was an easy 1.5 kgs. That was sort of, a little bit of a boost to start the whole thing. It's definitely been a lot slower the last couple of weeks. I think last week it was just 400 grams, and I'm going to be lucky this week if my weight stays the same.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's easy at the start because, you've got more weight, but it's still transitioning from Christmas holiday time to...
Oh, absolutely, no doubt.
But in the weekends, you said you've been a bit more careful. What have you done to be a bit more careful?
That's a good question. Just mainly watching portion size. So I've still eaten foods that I enjoy eating, but I guess before this, I wouldn't really have worried about portion sizes. I would have just eaten probably until I was almost overeating. Just a bit careful in that respect.
Cool.
So still eating the foods that I enjoy eating, but just having smaller portions.
Oh, cool.
What have you struggled with?
Exercise would be my thing. I've had an injury, and that kind of affects what I can do, how I can do it. So I've got to be careful with that. I don't want to re-injure my leg. Also the heat. It's harder to work out. So when I have worked out, I've worked out kind of later at night. But I've done what I can do as much as I can, and going forward, hopefully my leg gets stronger so I can do a bit more, and hopefully it gets cooler as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think those two things, injury and the heat, probably apply across the board. I think whatever sort of exercise or whatever challenge that you're doing outdoors, that heat has definitely been a really big factor, especially over the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So the final aspect before we wrap up, Ollie, the plan over the next 2 months. So there's 2 months to go. Anything in particular that you're going to try and do to edge closer to your goal?
I think mainly I'm going to just focus on the tips I give out. Kind of like, do as you say.
Practice what you're preaching.
Yeah, pretty much. So I'm gonna, when I send out the tips, I'm gonna follow them myself, and hopefully that'll help me continue losing weight and not pay fines.
Yeah. I think there was at least 2 tips that you sent out this week that were absolutely fantastic, and I think, in general, following them will hold anybody in good stead, no matter what their goal is. And I guess, finally, there's been a couple of questions this week from people who haven't been progressing at the rate that they would have hoped. Any sort of closing advice for those people as we look ahead to the next 2 months?
I'd say mainly, if your weight is steady or you're losing weight, you're making progress. When your body's kind of strange, like you can gain muscle, which means you're gaining weight, but overall that's a lot more healthier than losing that muscle, because that muscle kind of helps you lose more weight. So it's not a bad thing losing the weight, gaining weight, or staying the same. And even if you just stayed the same, your body didn't gain any muscle or anything, that's still progress.
I think so. And I think the other thing is, and we called this out right at the start, is I think there's no science to the way an individual will lose weight. Some people lose a whole lot at the start and then it slows down. Other people struggle at the start and then it ramps up. And for some other people, it just moves down at a uniform rate. I think we spoke about the need for patience. I think that's probably going to be a real key for a lot of people going forward. But yeah, there we have it. All right. So best of luck to everyone for your weigh-in tomorrow. We hope you don't have to pay a fine. But even if you do, like we've been saying, it's for a really good cause. All right.
Take care.